I'm optimistic, positive, and excited about chiropractic, the practical use of the hands. About reaching people with my practice and building an exceptional life of productivity, prosperity, and generosity, while filled with love, fitness, and fun. The whole you give through is the whole you receive through. So the first component of the Winner's Edge money flow system is automatic giving. And of course, per our system, we recommend that one auto give is to something for animals and the other auto give is to something for people. My purpose is to become a smarter, more powerful, capable, driven, and superior version of myself by ever increasing my awareness, knowledge, understanding, motivation, hands-on skill, communication skill, and mastering the art of exceptional living. Every single podcast with me, Tory the Chiropractor, the Practice Success Consultant, causes you to naturally attract more great new patients. High-value cases. Causes you to become more capable at motivating and persuading people, helping them with natural chiropractic care. You're empowered to make smarter long-term decisions, and you are energized physically, mentally, and, of course, financially. You know, with new patients, how many new patients do you want every month? What's the right number of new patients for you to get every month? Sometimes those numbers are different. Oh, I want 100 new ones a month. Do you? Maybe if you're starting out, if you're seeing 400 visits a week and you get 100 new ones, you have a problem because you really can't process the 100. Oh, I'll just hire an associate. Why would you ever do that? Are you trying to take home less money? Are you trying to be stressed out every day? You want the correct number of new ones every month because you cannot waste time with anybody who does not start care. So if you have 65 new ones and 30 of them start, that means you spent time with 35 people for no reason. So we do have to be as efficient as possible and remember to sustain a practice of 200 visits a week, you got to get 20 people to start. 30 people to start to maintain a 300 visit a week practice. That's 1 DC. 400 visit a week practice, 40 people to start, roughly. So we want great new patients, but if we're having a lot of demand and you got 60, 70, 80, 100 new ones, well, then we need to make some fee modifications because you have the demand and the validity to be able to do it. And that, of course, is our goal. We want you to serve people, but also to do well for the stability of your practice, the ability to reward your team, and, of course, for you to build the generous and exceptional life. I've got something I want to share with you today. Sometimes it's called heart breathing. Learned this from DeMartini a long time ago. You take your hands and you put them in front of your heart like you're going to pray. And then you extend your hands overhead, kind of like you're pointing at the sky, while you do a big inhale through your nose, like this. And you reach up your fingertips as high as you can, vertical. Try to keep the arms vertical. And then as you extend your arms outward, you exhale. Ah. And the hands come back in like you're praying. Your thumbs are touching your sternum. Big breath in through the nose. Ah. Back to the middle. Third and final time. Ah. Extend the arms out, prepared to receive. Now, when I do this, I take it a step further. It sounds like this. When I make that big inhale, I bring God's energy into my body, asking for strength, protection, and guidance. Another one of my favorites. I am now surrounded by pure white light. All good things flow to me and flow from me. Another one of my favorites. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I can go on and on and on. With chiropractic principles on my side, I always succeed. Everyone I touch becomes healthy and inspired. So many times people get contracted. They get closed in. And we must reach our arms out and extend and open up and say, I'm ready to naturally attract all the right people into my office, all the good opportunities for me to learn and to grow and to share and to give. Heart breathing. Fantastic exercise can be done anytime, in the office, out of the office. Share it with other people. Helps keep our mind positioned properly. Want to share a law with you today. Multi-part training today. Got a law I want to share. This will be one you never heard. You ready for this? Are you sure? The law of lesser pissers. What does that mean? Take a guess. The law of lesser pissers. Well, let me define it for you. See if we can use some examples to make sense out of this. There's a lot of truth to this. If it comes down to pissing off yourself or pissing off somebody else, piss off somebody else. Too many of you out there are being too nice, too accommodating. We're dealing with patients and we want to be nice and be accommodating and all that. That carries over. Next you know, we're getting ran over. Big doctor boot camp we just had out in San Diego, California. Right across from the Navy SEAL training headquarters, Miramar, Top Gun, Camp Pendleton. It is the ultimate place to have a high-level training of that physical caliber. And during this boot camp, I posed this question to one chiropractor. What's the one word you must learn how to say if you want to be ultra successful? And the chiropractor said the word was yes. And I thought, no, the word's no. He goes, no, it's yes. Say yes to learning your scripts. Yes to improving your chiropractic skill. Yes to getting better with your money flow. Yes to improving your technical elements, cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Yes to looking better. Yes to making the decision to have more clear goals. Speaking of scripting, think about it. It's either you have scripting or you wing it. Do all airplane flights have a script, or do they just take off and wing it? Do all of your restaurants that you love, do they have a recipe, i.e. a script, or do they just wing it every time they make spaghetti sauce or cook steak or make pizza? Every song that you love ever in your lifetime, does the artist just stand up and wing it, or do they have a script, a set of lyrics? All high performers use a script. That's how they become a super high performer and remain a super high performer. Facts. Back to the question, though. The point I'm getting at here is the word also is the word no. If you can learn to say no, you can be successful. If you can learn to say no, you can be rich. Because people are going to be coming at you all the time. You want to do this, you want to do that, buy this, buy that, do this, do that. You got to be able to say no, 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 no. Warren Buffett comments, I gotten where I am because I'm really good at saying no. Imagine how many people are coming to him. Do this, buy that, invest in this. No, 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 no. Speaking of something very quickly here, let me do this. Come back to the law of lesser pissers in a second here. What's the difference between rich and wealthy? Generally, someone who's rich has income. They have income coming in, like they're paid well, and they can buy stuff, maybe have a certain lifestyle. Wealthy is when you have income-producing assets that will feed your life. And a good definition of wealthy is when you have enough income-producing assets that your passive after-tax income from your investments will cover all your expenses. You are now wealthy. You do not have to work ever again. That is wealthy. Rich is just a chiropractor who has some income or a little bit of money and they spend it. But really behind the scenes, they have no legit wealth. You want to be wealthy. In fact, you want to be both. Rich, significant income that you can use for lifestyle, and to use it to become wealthy. And the law of lesser pissers once again states it's okay to say no to people even if it makes them mad. And people who want something from you, people who want to sell something to you, people who have an agenda for you that's actually good for them and not really good for you, and you say, no, I already have a mission of my own. No, I'm already having enough going on over here. No, I don't need that. No, I've already got a plan. No, I'm going to pay off my student loans first. No, 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 no. And then people walk away all huffy because you didn't do what they wanted you to do. Repeat after me. No. Hey, do you want to? No. Repeat after me again. No. You should. No. Why don't you? No. Do you want to? No. Did you? No. Why don't you? No. No. There's not enough room in your life. Let me tell you what a life is. All your life is, to be great, is to have a few really good relationships, of which some of them could be with pets. To have income-producing assets as you're creating wealth, and to have some decent health. There's going to be some things that bug you. You're not supposed to be, quote, pain-free forever. We've got broken down bodies, just the way it is. Chiropractic is here to help arrest those processes and reduce that and maximize health. And of course, you want to have satisfaction and improvement with your work. Remember now, we get our satisfaction from our work. And in chiropractic, you never want to be a used to be. That's a chiropractor that kind of bailed out somehow because they couldn't hack it, and now they're a used to be. You don't ever want to be a used to be. Okay? I don't have to be here doing this, but I'm not going to let myself be a used to be in the world of chiropractic, even though the consulting completely consumes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I can't see as many patients anymore. But my goal is to reach as many people as possible, and this is the angle that's allowed me to do that. The law of lesser pissers. So many people can't say no, and they buy stuff they shouldn't, do things they shouldn't, go to events they have no business being at, get involved with people they have no business being involved with because you couldn't say no. Repeat after me. No. There's my friend from Argentina says, no. No. And if someone's mad about it, so what? You protect yourself. You protect your mission. You protect your time. You protect your money. You protect your image. You protect your health. And you do that by saying no, even if someone else gets mad, even in a relationship. Why do you have to do jiu-jitsu on Tuesdays? Why can't you hang out? No. Mad at me, but respects me more because I said no and I adhered to a principle, and that is I have my physical training. There is time for that, and there's time for other things with somebody else. So you might catch proverbial hell for some of this, but it will be absolutely worth it because you protected yourself and maintained your integrity. People come into your life. You don't rearrange yours for them. You are on the rails. They can waver left and right and up and down and good mood and not so good mood and this, but you are steady and cool and strong. You are the person. You are the chiropractor with the plan. And people follow you. And to do that, you got to be able to say no. And for certain things, of course, you have to say yes. Moving on now, I want to share a couple procedural things. These are things I expect everybody to know, but maybe you don't. Here's one of the most common questions. Happens in a chiropractic office. You ready? Phone rings. What are your fees? What does an adjustment cost? What does it cost to go there? What do you say? Well, consultations are always free, and the doctor will let you know our fees at that time. May I make an appointment for you? We could get you in this afternoon. Did that answer their question? The answer is no. Do you know what your fees are? Yes. So what's the hang-up? Here's the official recommendation. You have a 98940. Let's say it's $50. You could have some examination work. You could have some x-ray work. So let's say if you include some of those things, it's a couple $100. So you could say this, well, an office visit here could be anywhere from 50 to maybe 200 or more, depending on how much needed to be done that day. You give a range. Your 98940, okay, which is normally the lowest thing it could cost. If someone just came in after they were a patient, it could be $0. If it was a certain circumstance, you might say, which I'll get to in a second, the $0. But generally, your office visit of 50 and it could go up. Now, back to the $0 quickly. I personally have not charged for a new patient for like 20 years. Why? Well, that's a whole other conversation, but I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to sit there and have people ask me and say, well, did you check on my Medicare? Is my deductible met? Or how many visits do I have left on my deductible? Or what about this? Or what about that? So I just say, forget it. I do not want to ever have those conversations. Plus, if you say something is $47 or $97, well, if they were in a car wreck, they may be covered 100%. It's going to be $0 for them. So I just say this. My commitment to the community, because of who I am and how many people I see, I'm able to do some things that most chiropractors can't. So to come in and get checked out, have a chance for me to tell you if I think chiropractic can help you, there's no charge for that. So I want you to relax. Let's just focus on understanding the problem. I'll be happy to make a recommendation for you. There. Everybody relaxes. Yeah, but Tory, you're not getting paid. Who cares about getting paid for new patients? The real pro killer chiropractor, killer in a positive way, you make it on care plans, volume, all of that. And the best marketing I've ever done was allowing someone to say, hey, your brother can come in and I'll check him for no charge. And if that person's no charge, why wouldn't I have the person who just walked in who saw my sign be no charge? See, you got to be fair. So many chiropractors are incongruent. You must be fair. But now back to the phone call. It's perfectly fine to say a range. It could be 50 up to maybe 200 or more, depending on what the doctor thought they needed to do. But consultations are free. Come on in and visit, and let's take a look at your situation, and we'll go from there. How's that sound? But see, some of these people are looking for, well, I was going to see Dr. Jimmy, and it's only $43, and if you're 39, I'll come and see you because I'm a price chopper, and I'm going to show up and be a horrible patient and make you do a bunch of work. and then only come in whenever I want to and really not get that much better. And when I don't, I'm going to blame it on you. So these people almost never are really good patients, but certainly for your team, the best way to be honest is to give them a range to tell anybody who calls with that question. Next question. Do you take Acme insurance and you don't? Now what do you say? Do you take Acme insurance and your office doesn't? You may even wish you did. And it's a network that a lot of people around you have, and you're not in it, and you'll never get in it. So you don't want to say no. You want to say, yes, I'm in your network, and that'll make it easy to get people to come in. But you're not in the network. A lot of people have that network. You're never going to get in the network because its providership is already full for the area. So what do you say? You may have tried. You may have even not wanted to try. But here's a great answer. Well, we've discovered that Acme Insurance Company, they greatly affect the quality of care we can provide. They want to control the care plans. And that is very, very risky when it comes to your health and certainly our reputation. So the most important thing to us is you getting better. And so everybody that has that insurance, they come and see us anyway. The fundamental answer I learned years ago, well, we've been invited to be a part of that network, but we've declined respectfully because we've discovered that they greatly affect the quality of care. They want to cut people off. They want to make you do a bunch of paperwork only to tell you no and then blame it on the doctor or blame it on you. So we've discovered that we're able to have cash plans that are more effective that practically everybody does. So I recommend we follow through with our evaluation. I'll make my recommendation. You take a look at what the fee is, and if you can make it work, great. If it's something you want to think about, that's great too. But at least you'll know what the problem is, and you'll know what to do. See, I want to get them in and check them so they can trust me, because whether they start care then or not, if they know me and they like me and they trust me, most of the time they'll come back. Most of the time they'll come back. So being nice is a good idea. So here's my whole point here. The best marketing you will ever do is letting people come in as a new patient and checking them for no charge. You're not collecting, I know. I consider it a marketing expense. The best one you could ever have. All right. We could spend a lot more on that. And in our communication and persuasion audio set, which we call the yellow set, which like everybody has, I go over all the common responses to the common questions that people ask you. It's incredible. So the table talk set, the office visit talk set, and the communication and persuasion set are standard issue chiropractic communication material for the power chiropractor. And of course, how many people in our group seeing 100 a day, 100 in an afternoon, collecting 100,000 a month? Okay, they have studied those heavily. That's how they got to that level, because they are master communicators. Last point, we had our breathing. The law of lesser pissers, a couple procedural elements there. What does it cost to go there, and do you take Acme Insurance? Little motivational section for you today. The Incredible Doctor Boot Camp, we had incredible speakers come in like we do. We've had everybody from Rorion Gracie, the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu dynasty, who founded the UFC, to the legendary coach Dan Gable, one of the top 100 Olympians of all time. Ray Cashcare, Navy SEAL. We had a gentleman come in this time and told a story about being overseas in the Navy, working with a Marine unit. He was a medic. Said every single day you woke up and put on wet socks. Your boots were still wet from the day before. You dreamed of waking up one day and putting on dry socks. Loading up all your weapons, all of his medical gear, to go out and hope he doesn't get the call. He does get the call that there's a man down, approximately 20 minutes from his position. He starts to head toward that as fast as he can, listening for any radio information that might indicate what the problem was so he could be mentally prepared. He's hustling. He's going there to save. Boom! He steps on a bomb. An improvised explosive device. A bag of nails and bolts connected to an explosive. Says it felt like an eagle picked him up and just lifted him and threw him backwards. And he lands. And all of a sudden it hits. A pain like he's never felt before. He looks down. His left leg is gone from the knee down. He said it felt like the bones in his foot disintegrated. And he's laying there bleeding to death. And he's a medic who was going to save another soldier. He has to get out a tourniquet of his own and attempt to put a tourniquet on his own bleeding leg while he's staring at it. In case you're wondering what it's like to be in hell as a living person, they were able to get him out of there. Lower leg had to be amputated, and he had decisions to make about how he was going to look at life, how he was going to look at his body, how he was going to look at health. What did he do? The career he'd known was over. Now he's in a hospital with other injured people, brain injuries, horrible burns, amputees everywhere around him. He digs deep. He digs deep into his heart and decides to take his life to another level. Becomes athletic, running, swimming, even competes in the incredible television series, The Amazing Race. Takes second. Thought for sure he was going to win. Why? Because he knew he could dig deeper than anybody else on the show. But the other team was great, and they happened to win. His name is Redmond Ramos. Redmond Ramos. I suggest you look him up. Fantastic, beautiful wife, Krista. He's sitting there at the boot camp wearing a pair of pants. It's time to go out and train. He takes his pants off, and everybody sees his prosthetic leg. And he has a tattoo on the back of his right calf with an arrow that points to his left prosthetic leg. And it says, "I'm with Stumpy." They find humor, find a way to laugh, find a way to overcome, find a way to achieve. As you sit there today and you have concerns and you have worries, did your leg just get blown off? Did your entire career and career path, as you know it, get eliminated in 1/10 of 1 second? What are you worried about today? What are you worked up about? Are they stressings or are they actually blessings? I submit to you that what you're they're blessings. It's a privilege to have the problems we have. Oh, how many people am I going to see this week? How many new patients are going to come in? What am I going to collect? I wonder what color my new car should be. Versus being in a VA hospital, wondering if you're going to be able to keep what's left of your leg, and only half of it's left. So let's be cool. Let's be steady. Let's be thankful. If you can see out your eyes and you can taste your food and you got 2 hands that work and you got 2 feet that work, I'm telling you, you have everything you need to reach people, to share, to change thousands and thousands of lives with chiropractic awesomeness, and of course for you to build the exceptional chiropractic life. Tory out.